Hey y'all, this is Marie from our Okie Homestead. C&CFarm has decided to do the Ultimate Cookie Challenge 23 collaboration between a bunch of us channels, and I'll have more information on that in the description below. My cookies that I'm going to make, I've always just called them Mrs. Smith's cookies because it was the name of a little landlady that I had years ago whenever I lived in White House Fork, Alabama. Her whole family lived there on that hillside, and that to me was, I guess, like the beginning of when it planted a seed in my mind of how great it is to be able to be surrounded by family. And then that way everybody's right here in the same spot and able to look out for each other. She would bring us little treats over there because we had young kids and we were renting a trailer from them right there amongst their family, which was awesome because they all looked out for each other, so they looked out for us too. I just died when I tasted these cookies. I was like, oh, these are so good. She gave me the recipe since I loved the cookies so much, and so I'm going to share the recipe with y'all. But there's that if you want to pause the video and write that down. And there's the back. Hopefully you can read that. I'll also add it in the description below. And this greased cookie sheet oven at 350. The ingredients you need to make them, I'll go over those right now too. And so if you want to write it down, then you can write it down and pause in between if you need to. 1.5 cups of sifted flour, which is why I have the sifter sitting there. A teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of salt, a cup of shortening, 3/4 cup of white sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, which I don't have sitting out yet, a teaspoon of hot water, 1/2 to 1 cup of chopped nuts. You can use pecans or walnuts, and then a package of chocolate chips, and then a teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 cups of oatmeal. I'm going to get these cookies put together, and hopefully I'll get it filmed good for y'all. I need to sift the flour. Set this on my cup. Hold it on there. See if I can do this without making too terrible of a mess. So much for no mess. You can see why they want you to sift it. Let's see what we got. Oh wow, 1.5 cups, perfect. So, we're gonna put this in here. Teaspoon of baking soda. Teaspoon of salt. I have rice in my salt to keep it from clumping. I have to use my hand to catch it. That's probably more than enough. I don't like using a lot of salt and stuff anyway, so I normally cut the amount of salt. So I'm only putting 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to do the shortening and the sugar in this bowl, and I'm just going to do the dry ingredients in here. Now, cup of shortening, and this is, I don't have a 1 cup, so this is a 1/2 cup measuring thing. Squish it down in there. So that's a 1/2 cup. Okay. Three-quarter cup white sugar. I'll get my bear out of the way. I have a terracotta bear that stays in the brown sugar. It's supposed to absorb any moisture and keep it from clumping worse than it usually does. Let's see where we're at. Three-quarter cup brown sugar. And you cream these together. Okay. Beat in the eggs. Our hens have not been laying much because we're going into winter and they're molting. So we had to buy eggs. Can you believe that? Well, my oven's ready, but I'm not. Teaspoon of hot water. There we go. So I'm going to add the wet part to the dry part. I'll raise this up. I'll turn it on. And let it do the work. Teaspoon. It looks like it's almost already got it mixed. I'm just like, wow. This part always took me forever getting the dry parts to incorporate in with the little bit of wet parts. Run it again. Oh! It's a little bit fast. Looks like it's all mixed up. That's awesome. Thank you, KitchenAid. Thank you, dear husband, for buying it for me. Very tempting to taste it at this point, but it's like, it's got raw egg in it. Okay, so now all we gotta do is just, by the spoonfuls, get it on the cookie sheets. Greased cookie sheet. I'm just gonna use the spray. There we go. Just drop it by the spoonfuls. Get this thrown in the oven. This other one done. You bake at 350 for 10 to 12 minutes. Let's set my timer. Let's check them. We're down to like 30-something seconds. I would say no, they're not done. So they're gonna have to have a couple more minutes. They smell good. Woo! I'll bring y'all back when they're done. I love these cookies. I can't hardly wait to eat one. It's been a few years since I made them. It says pull them out when they're lightly browned. These are going to have to cool for a while before I can even get them off the cookie sheet. And the smell is killing me, y'all. They smell so good. See, I don't think those are done. Let's see.
Makes a lot of cookies, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. If you try to pick them up too soon before they cool off for a minute, then they'll fall apart. So you got to give them a chance to cool off for 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, they've cooled off enough I can get them up now. There we go, all done. Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Mrs. Smith's cookies. I hope y'all make sure you check out the other channels that I'm going to link in the description for the Ultimate Cookie Challenge 23. It'll be hashtag Ultimate Cookie 23. And C&CFarm has put this collaboration together. So y'all be keeping your eyes open for everybody else too, okay? And I hope everybody has a good one. It's going to be all kinds of good cookies. Y'all check them out.